What's up, everyone? Welcome back to One Code Cam channel. My name is Ian, and for today, we are going to explore another fundamental aspect of web applications. It is how to create success and failure pages. Now, these pages are essential for providing feedback to our targeted users whenever they are already interacting with our project or with our websites. Now, let's go ahead and begin with understanding why both of these pages are essential in web development. When we interact with a website and perform transactions or requests, an effective application would let us know if it was successful or not. Just like what we have here on our screen, I think a user is attempting to make a purchase. This first image that we're seeing, this is what we are. We would like to prompt on the screen if the payment went successfully. While on the other hand, for some reasons that the transaction did not went through, we would like to display this second image instead. So from a developer perspective, it's really important that we display success and failure pages so as not to leave the user guessing how their request went. Now, let me show you how we can integrate this success and failure pages into our Express application, and of course, integrating EJS templates along with it. So we have here our Visual Studio Code. Let me make it bigger. In here, we have a ready-made directory. These are from the previous project that we had one video ago. So I just deleted all of the other files but leave the documents or the folders for the dependency. And then we have here the list of those dependencies that we have installed already. So from here, we would like to create a new folder which is going to handle our views. This is where we are going to put in our EJS templates. So first, this application that I am trying to show would like to display a submission form or maybe like a login to a specific website by a user. So let us create that form first. So we would like to create a file. It will just be index. We would like this to be the landing page of this web page that we're trying to use, and that we're just getting the HTML boilerplate. And then here, let's just say form. And then let me just fix the indentation quickly. All right. And then inside the body, this is where we're going to create the form now. Okay. Here on the action attribute is where we're going to indicate where we would want to send the information that we will be capturing from this form. So later on, we're going to create another page. And maybe let's name that submit. That's where we want to send our information. And then for the form method, of course, we're setting it to post. Okay. And then inside in here, we will just want to get two information. The first one being just the name. Let's give it a name of username. And then maybe we can also add a placeholder to let the customer know what we're asking is specifically for the field that they are showing. Go inside the quotation mark. Okay. And then we also wanted to add in here an attribute saying that this field is required. Okay. And then let's add another input field for this time the password. Password. And then let's give it an attribute name of password, of course. Also put in here a placeholder, and of course we will indicate that the password field should be required as well. Required. Okay. And then down here is where we're going to put in the submit button, what's going to trigger the submission of this information that we're able to collect. Let's put in here submit. Okay. Right, so that's pretty much about it with our index page, or like our landing page that handles our form. Now let's go ahead and create another EJS file, and this will be the submit file. EJS. Now for the submit file, where did that go? It's loading. My Visual Studio Code is kind of slow. Please bear with me. Right, so from here, another HTML boilerplate, and then in the body, let's just give this a title of submit. And then in the body, we are just going to make a conditional statement in here, since there's like two possible templates that we would like to be showing depending on how or the outcome of the form. we would like to send, of course, or to display either a success page and a failure page. So in here, we will be passing in a variable of is authenticated. This will going to handle the scenario wherein the user was able to meet the requirement, or they are able to log in successfully using the proper login credentials. So, and then in here is it's where the else statement go. Let's close this. And else, let's open another curly brace. And then this is where we're going to include the failure page. Now, failure. Failure? Okay. Okay, was checking if I miss anything. Really hope not. Okay, we forgot to close it. Okay, don't think we need this anymore. Okay, this has been closed. All right, think that is looking good for me. Let's save the file. And now let's go ahead and proceed with creating the two pages. Let's create another file. This time, let's just name it success, since that's what we already name it on the submit.ejs form. Now, in here, in the success page, we just would like to show a very short message. So we, of course, wanted to welcome the user for making it through the login process. And then inside a p tag is, let's say, you have successfully accessed this page. Okay, let's saving this file. And then let's go create the last file, which is the failure.ejs this time. And then for the failure, let's just create another heading and letting them know it failed. Login, failed. Failed. Okay. And then in here is where we're going to say that, so this scenario that we're trying to pick up is maybe they're like trying to access a page from a website, but they like need to be an authorized user for them to access the page. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Like those Google pages that were shared to you, but then they forgot to edit the access of the form. You guys encountered that. All right. Administrator, please contact administrator to request access. Okay. All right. This is looking good for me. Let's save the file again. And then now we are ready for our server. Now, outside of the views folder, this in here, let's create our server. Let's name it app.js. Okay. So for our app.js, of course, we are going to start with importing our Express library. Require Express. Okay, and then we will also be getting all the functions that comes along with our Express. We forgot the variable name app. Okay, and then for the last variable on the top would be our port number. We are setting it to 3000. Okay, and then here, let's go ahead and configure our middlewares. So first is, of course, we are setting EJS as our templating language. EJS. And then this time, we also, of course, would wanna make use of this function, the express that URL encoded. This is going to help us parse the information from our form to be used to any web pages that will be necessary for it to be used. We're setting it to true. Okay, we're okay to parentheses, and we're okay with this. All right, now once all these configurations at the top, right now we would like to set a variable, which is the is authenticated variable, which is again is what's going to determine if the user was able to make it through past the authentication process or not. In default, we are setting it to false. And then here, let's go ahead and set up the routing of our web pages. Of course, we are creating the index or the routing, the landing page rather, of our application. Okay, and then we would like to render the form file. Okay, and then of course we are passing the is authenticated variable along with it. Oops. Okay. And then down here is where we're going to route our post. We're going to now route the submit page. And we're of course using the post method instead of get, since this page will be triggered by submitting the form that we created. Correct. Yes. Okay, and then in here, now in a real life scenario, the way that we can authenticate a user is to, of course, like compare their input against a database. But since we don't have a database, we're not creating one for this tutorial. But for the purpose of showing you if they were able to get the proper credentials, let's unleave the comment in here. We're just going to hard code the specific requirement or the specific login information that they will need to input so they can access the page. So in here, we're going to write in. I'm thinking if I should write a comment, but let's not do that anymore. So let's just go ahead and straight ahead write in our conditional statement. So we would like to say in here that if the input appears to be equals, let's just set the username that we're looking for to be Ian. Okay, and then of course the password. We would like to set the password to 123456. Very secured password, right? Okay, and then here rest that render is the submit file that we would like to be rendered. Passing in the same is authenticated variable, and then of course if it did meet, or if it did is equivalent to these values, of course the is authenticated variable will be automatically set to true. And then in here is where we're going to put in the else statement to display the failure page this time. Submit. And then this will be set to close. Okay. All right, so we close that. Okay, we have closed everything properly. I would like to think so. Okay. And then here is when the last part will just be us setting up the port. Okay. So here we want to just display something on the console that would let us know if our code is correct or if it was able to spot in any errors. The port number, the port variable. Oops. Okay. Okay, let me just run a quick note. Everything's looking okay. I'm saving this file, and let us now run our server. Now, app.EJS. Now let me minimize the file explorer. Let us minimize our Visual Studio Code, and then I'll be putting in here the browser. Let me get the browser again. Click on Go Live. And then here is my browser. Let me move it here. Let's fix that in here, and then let's put in here 3000. Let's see if it's going to work for us. If it did, was able to capture this. Why did it close the server? Let us run that again. Let's minimize it a bit more. Okay, let's refresh the browser. Why did it keep on closing our server? I think we have missed something. Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's close the index route. Let's see if this will work this time. Okay, now with app.js again. Okay, let's open our live server once more. Let's minimize this. 3000. And we have another error, but good thing that it's not now was able to detect our file. But let's see. So in the form, I think we name our form incorrectly, okay, I get it now. So it should be index instead of form. Index. Okay, let's see if that's what's happening. All right. Okay, all right. So why is this very small? Oh, we forgot to add something in here. Let's just say login. Okay, let's try to run this file again. Refresh the browser, and there we have it. Okay, now since we were able to map our routes properly, it's now showing the index form or index landing page. Let's now try to log in. Again, we should be using this same exact string in here for the user to be able to access the page. So let's go ahead and try to make the transaction go through. So password 123456, log in. All right, now we're not saving that. Okay, so there we have it. We were now able to successfully display the submit page with using the our template for the instance of success, since we're able to put in the proper credentials for the field or for the form. So it says now, welcome, you have successfully accessed this page. Now let's go back and try to input incorrect credentials. So we're using this time John with the same password, but just a different username. Press on login. Okay, we will now display this login failed page that's saying you're not authorized to access the page, and we will need to contact the administrator to request for access. All right, so that's about it for demonstrating how to make the success and failure page integrated with EJS template. Thank you again, guys, for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.